I just purposely get it in my head, and I have to renew my mind every day. And I took the mattress cover off. I was just so mad. I didn't know what to do with those feelings. Telling my baby, I'm like, look, Nana, love having you here. I'm glad you taking time out for yourself. But sir, it's time for you to go back to work.
Your body's beat by.
I keep trying for you. I gave you all the love I got. I gave you more than I could give. Gave you love. I gave you all that I have inside. And you took my love. You took my love.
Call me when you need some. Call me when you need
Didn't I tell you what I believe? Did somebody say that a love like that won't last? Didn't I give you all that I got to give, baby? I gave you all the love I got. I gave you more than I could give. Gave you love.
Call me when you need some. Call me when
I gave you all that I have inside, and you took my love. You took my love. I keep crying. I keep trying for you.
Call me when you need some. Call me when
I
you
keep
need
trying. I keep trying for you.
Call me when you need some.
Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to a new video. My name is Ivy and this channel is Boo Bougie. And girl, I like to say to you, hey boo.
Arms wide open.
And if you're a returning subscriber, hey boo.
Miracle in this room with my name on it. There's a breakthrough. It's got my name on it.
So good morning. Good morning. Oh, my chin, girl, these hairs on my chin. Oh, my chinny chin. So today is April the 16th, and this is going to be the Dear Diary series. I don't know if I'm a video every day, but I just said, let me come on because it's, you know, like I said in my previous video, this video, it's not a whole lot going on, and I actually like it like that. But today I wanted to talk to you about powerlessness, right? Like being powerless over any situation. You know, it's nothing like wanting to fix a situation and you can't. Like, you know, I was just thinking back to when my daughter left. You know, I felt so powerless because I wanted to fix that situation. And sometimes, no matter how much we try, we just can't. You know, I did a video a while ago. A while ago. And it was this lady I met, and her daughter had actually died, and she was raising her two grandkids. And at the time I just had Lauren and KK. And so when I looked at that whole situation, it was just confirmation of what God had already told me. Like, you could be mourning her death instead of her absence, right? And so, you know, I'm rolling, I'm rocking and rolling with these feelings. You know, I feel better today. My friend came over yesterday, and Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. It's a table outside my bedroom window, and I just seen something go past. It was a cat. The guy next door, he has like 3 cats, and it was a cat up there. I guess he calling for my cat to come outside. But yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I had to get Zoki, take Zoki outside. But yeah, like I was saying, my friend came over, and my mattress is a memory foam, and it had a cover over it. And so I remember me and my husband when we were, going through our separation. I remember I dragged this mattress out of here, out of here. I dragged the mattress out of the house from upstairs to downstairs to down some stairs going outside, and I took the mattress cover off. I was just so mad. I didn't know what to do with those feelings, and I just in the front yard just took the mattress cover off, and that was 2000, that was around October 2022. That mattress cover has been off my bed ever since. And what happened is with the memory foam, with the kids, because they like to be in my room, the memory foam had a tear in it, and by them being on my bed and moving and bouncing and jumping and what kids do, the foam started to tear. And so when my friend came over, I'm like, ooh, I know what you could help me with. And so we are, my friend and Terrence and Lauren, we all was in here, and we got that mattress cover on there. And so I had a really good sleep last night, probably the best, because it made my bed more firmer, more put together, because my queen size was starting to look like a king size, because on KK side where they be at, it's the mattress, like this, the mattress, about this much of the mattress was splitting. And so that mattress was hanging over. And girl, so when I tell you, I was so glad my friend came over yesterday. So got that done, got a pretty good night's sleep. Yeah, just wanted to check in on, because that's what I'm feeling. I'm just feeling powerless. Over situations that I can't control, and it's learning to rock and to deal with those feelings in the midst of your uncomfortability, right? So, I just purposely get it in my head, and I have to renew my mind every day. Like, God is doing what he's doing. You don't need to know how he's going to work it out. You continue doing what you doing. So that's where I'm at. So I'm sitting here, and I done bit my nails off, and, I didn't do it today. I did it the other day. But, just being okay with the way everything is, and it's hard. It's hard to rock with those feelings when you feel powerless, because for me, it's like I'm wrecking my brain on what it is I can do to make the situation better, to let it be a healthy and a good outcome, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I could only do the task that was assigned to me. That's it. Anything over that is above my pay grade. So I gotta let God do what he do. So that's what I'm doing. I said, let me talk. Let me just, if I can't do anything else, I can talk. And this way it helps me feel better. It helps me get things out. I went to the grocery store yesterday, and I got some stuff. I have food, but like the everyday stuff. A gallon of milk, I could buy a gallon of milk, and 2 days later it's gone. So I'm telling my baby, I'm like, look, Nana, love having you here. I'm glad you taking time out for yourself. But, sir, it's time for you to go back to work. Because you eating me out of house at home, So that's where I'm at today. Just making sure I'm taking care of doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, making sure everybody is where they're supposed to be, That's what I could do. That's what's within my powers, right? So I do it. I find myself getting unraveled when I try to step into a position that's not mine, you know. And God keeps reminding me, like, I got this. Like, I just need you to do your part. You know, you ever work a job and, you know, the job is collectively different things. But when you come together, like, you do your part, I do my part. Just like Ford Motor Company. Is you got certain people putting on the doors, you got certain people putting on the hood, certain people putting on the bumper, certain people doing the frame, you know, and collectively they all come together and now you have an automobile, right? So that's where I'm at. Like, my portion is just the doors. Let me do what I'm doing. Let me just do the doors, you know. But as a grandmother, you know, you want what's best, you know. And it's like, okay, I know you God, but hold on a second, because I've been around them a lot longer than you. Because this is what my mind will say, even though I know it's not true, because God said, I knew you from the foundation of the earth, right? He said, I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. So how could I know him longer, you know? So, you know, I'm just, I say, like I said yesterday, it's already all right. I just got to get all right with it, you know? And then I'm also having, I'm trying to, like, knock it down every time it comes, but it's like I'm starting to have, separation anxiety, right? Um, just, you know, the thought of them going back with their mother, right? And not having a full house. You know, it's that is overwhelming in itself, because as overwhelmed as I am, I know it's going to take a toll on me when they go back with their mother. You know, and I'm trying to stay in the day when it comes to that thought. So, you know, it is what it is. I would not trade my life. I would not trade my journey for nothing. You know, I wouldn't. With all the struggles and the hardship, I would not change a thing. Some parts of me want to, but I know for the growth and for, you know, the impartation that I'm giving to these kids, if that's a word. Y'all let me know if that's a word. Look, I don't know. I be stuff be coming to me. Look. So I wouldn't trade that, you know, because these few years that they've been with me, they're gonna remember that. They're gonna remember, even down the line, you know, with their mom, what Nana wouldn't, or Nana said, or Nana, you know what I mean? They're gonna remember that, you know, and that brings me joy, you know. Me and KK was laying in the bed last night. So when she get in the bed, she was like, first, before she even got in the bed, she was like, Nana, where I'm asleep? I'm like, you gonna sleep with me? I guess she figured the bed looked smaller because the covering was on it. And she was like, Nana, where I'm gonna sleep? I'm like, you gonna sleep with me? You know, like, not being able to sleep with her, you know. I'm used to her sleeping with me, you know, so I don't know. I just I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. That's what I do, you know, because I don't know if my daughter is gonna stay with me for a while. And I don't know what that while is, whether it's months. I doubt if it's years, because me and my daughter, we both the same. We're both the same. And you know how they say two women can't live up under the same roof? I don't think that's true. I think when you have boundaries and you're respectful, you know what I mean? I think two women can, because I remember my friend Tracy, it was her grandmother, her great grandmother, and her sister. And they were all up under the same roof. And even to a point where my friend was grown, they all still lived up under the same roof. So, no, you can live up under the same roof. Like I said, it's about boundaries and it's about being respectful of one another. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know what that looks like for me when she comes home. So, we'll just cross it when it comes. We're looking at August for her to come home, where she can come home on visits. She can come home every weekend for visits. So that's what we're looking at for right now. It could be November, where she's home completely for good, or it can be February of next year. So, it's a ways off, but as the time approaches, because this year, like, where is this year going? It's already the 17th of April. It's about to be May. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, it's time to start thinking about some stuff, because one thing for certain and two things for sure, it don't matter how you or I feel, this world is going to keep turning. It's going to keep turning. It's going to keep moving. It's going to keep going, whether we participate in it or not. So it behooves us to sit idly and not participate in it. So I'm choosing to participate today in life. I'm choosing not to get up under the cover, because even though I don't take medicine, I still have a diagnosis of depression. I've just learned to manage it, to where I'm not stuck as long as I've been stuck in the past. I would get into bed. My favorite movie is Ever After. And I tend to watch this movie when I'm feeling some type of way. When you have depression, you take whatever pill. Mine was Zoloft, and I would take my pill in the morning, and that would kind of even me out for the rest of the day, right? So when I put this movie on, I'll put this movie on, and this movie will play 2 or 3 times while I'm laying in the bed. I'm not particularly watching it. I'm listening to it, and I'll listen to it until it pulls me out of that funk. So, I haven't put the movie on, so I'm not that far gone into my feelings and my emotions, and thank God for that, right? I'll take no credit for that, right? So, having laid on the couch, having stressed out on the couch, I'm just continuing to move in spite of how I feel. I cooked yesterday. I made spaghetti. And the kids, if you make spaghetti, they can eat spaghetti every day. I like I said, I went grocery shopping, and I try to buy the things that they like because they're so picky with eating. And I went in the freezer this morning, and Terrence likes these burritos, and I don't eat them. I buy them for the kids. But when I looked in the freezer, I was going to get some ice water. But when I looked in the freezer, I seen the pack open. So I'm thinking to myself, maybe they're individually wrapped. And when I picked up the pack, of course they're not. And so I had to reclose them, put them in something so they wouldn't freezer burn. And it's like I keep telling them, if you put stuff in the freezer and you don't close it or seal it, it's going to get freezer burned, And it's like a part of me just keeps saying, why? Why am I saying the same thing over and over again? It's almost like Groundhog Day. This is my normal. This is my normal. And I think like what sent me into the tailspin, which actually started this Dear Diary series, is wanting to help. Wanting to help my grandchild, right? And the help not being taken, And, for me, that was like, okay, I'm doing everything I can do, to piggyback off of yesterday, because it's a diary, you write every day, every other day, whatever. And it's like, I want you to get it. I want you to get it, sir. And it's, like I said yesterday, it's like, I want it more than you, so I'm coming around a merry-go-round. So I don't know how long this Dear Diary series is going to be, but look, I'm talking it out and I'm working it out with y'all. Thank y'all so much for the comments. I love to read y'all comments. It's is food for me. It really is. To look at the comments, to hear what it is you have to say, what you're going through, your experience on my situations, or whatever it is that's going on, to know that I'm not alone. So many times when we go through stuff, individually but collectively, sometimes we feel like we're the only ones. Like, why me? Like, it's nobody else. And we know that it is, but it's still an overwhelming feeling to feel like, and not even audibly saying it or thinking it like I'm the only one going through this, but that feeling. And if you know the feeling I'm talking about. So anyway, yeah, I'm feeling powerless, but it's okay. It's okay. Like I said, it's okay to cry yesterday. It's okay to feel powerless. It is. It really is. So many people, and definitely myself. When we feel powerless, it feels like I'm not doing enough, or I'm not there like I should be, or it's more I could do. Like, I stopped short of completing the goal. And that's just not the case. Powerless is simply what it is. You are powerless over a situation. It just is what it is. You have children, whatever the case might be, they go to jail. I mean, I'm saying, like, for my mom, I can remember I went to this place. It was like an alternative to going to jail. It was like a house. And it was like 6 or 7 girls lived in this house, at the time I was there. And when I went to court and my mom was in court, and they let me out of handcuffs, but I still couldn't go home. I still couldn't go to my baby. I still couldn't go to my mama. They released me to the care of these people. And I'm sure my mother felt powerless. I'm sure my mother wanted me to come home. You know what I'm saying? But that's an example of powerless. You're just powerless over that situation. As much as you want to do, yell, scream, cuss, fuss, break me out, you can't. You can't. That's a prime example of powerlessness, right? Having to sit on the sideline and watch as things unfold without your permission or your assistance. So, that's where I'm at today. That's what it is today. I'm feeling pretty good. I read my word yesterday. Today, I was gonna read it yesterday after I got off the camera, and then I started doing stuff. It was time to get KK, and but I read this morning, and I'm just sticking close to God. I'm just, somebody said in the comments, and I don't have them right in front of me, they said lean more into God, and that's what I'm doing. I'm leaning more into God. I was watching Priscilla. I can't think of her last name, but I was watching her, and she said, are you a follower or are you a fan of God? A fan of Jesus? Are you a follower or a fan? Right? So I want to continue to be a follower and not a fan, because what she was talking about, a fan is people who come out of ritual, out of tradition. My mama went to church, my grandmama went to church. They say that's what you're supposed to do, so let me go. My friends is going, so let me go. You know what I mean? Or are you going? Are you leaning in, right? Because you want what God has to offer. You want him to facilitate your life, to be the head of your life, right? So that's where I'm at tonight. And I'm not cutting this out because it's a diary. You write in your diary, you might make a mistake, you do a little scratch out and you keep on writing. So it is what it is. But I'm a follower. I'm a follower and not a fan. I never want to be a fan of God. Never. I want to have that continual up close and personal relationship with him. And let me tell you, I fall short. I fall short. So, you know, you got that girlfriend, and when y'all get together, y'all talk, and everything is all good, and it's like, girl, how you been? Where you been? You know, what's up? And y'all on the phone for 3 hours, and then y'all don't talk no more for a month. You know what I'm saying? Even though y'all still good girlfriends, life shows up and y'all do whatever y'all do. And y'all make time when y'all make time. But God says he a jealous God. He needs you to make time even when it ain't no time. And it's always time. If I'm on here making a video, if I'm sitting here playing dolls or make believe with KK, if I'm running out to the store, yeah, I got time. So I definitely want to be a follower and not a fan. So that's it. That's my daily diary today. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I thank you all. Girl, it is what it is. I say it all the time. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life. Now, with the Dear Diaries, I'm going to be showing them to my channel members first. Some I'm going to show to my channel members first, and some are just going to be strictly for my channel members. So, you know, that's one of the perks of being a channel member. You get to see a video before everybody else. And I think it's only like $1.99 or $2.99. Y'all can help a sister out. So, yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you so much. And if you feel inclined, subscribe. Subscribe. This is a real channel, real feelings, real emotions, real vlogs, real chit chats. You know, coming to moments happen over here. So I love you guys. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. You can feel time. 30 degrees, way too cold, so call me down. Will I see you at the show tonight? Will I see you at the show tonight? Hey, truck to the place.